Hello boys and girls, I hope you are doing well wherever you are. Welcome to today's lesson, social studies, and the government and the topic under discussion is the government of Kenya, formation of a government, what is a government, and the levels of the government. First, what's a government? That a government is an administrative system that rules over the people. In Kenya, we have a government, and this government is the one that rules over us as the citizen of the country. So, that a government is an administrative system that rules over the people. As we learn, you shall be writing the notes. So, I'll be writing the notes this side as I do my rough work on the other side. Now, levels of the government. In Kenya, we have two levels of the government. Number one, we have what we call the national government. The national government. And number two, we have to call the county government. The county government. These are the two levels of governments that we have in the country. Now, let me talk about the county government. The county government was taught in class 4, but I know by now you have forgotten. The county government, we shall be talking about it in our subsequent lessons. But an overview of the county government is that the county government, we have what we call the composition of the county government. Composition. Now that is the structure. That the county government, a county is headed by a governor. And this governor is elected by the people in the county. The composition of this county government, we have what we call the governor himself or herself and the deputy governor. These two men and women, they appoint two people. They appoint what we call the county executive committee. The county executive committee are those people who will be in charge of ministries in the county. These people, the county executive committee, the CEC, are appointed by the governor. But before these people receive office, these people have to be vetted by the county assembly. So the other one is the county assembly. The county assembly comprises of men and women who have been elected to represent wards. We call them the county assembly members. So the county, we call them the county representatives. The county representative, these people, county assembly, who vet the men and women who have been appointed by the governor to take over some ministries in the county. Let's leave that the county government at that point. Let's move to the main one, the national government. Let's talk about the national government. National government. A government in Kenya is formed after a general election. A general election in Kenya is carried out after every 5 years. So, we go for a general election. We have two types of elections in Kenya. Number one, general election, and number two, what we call the by-election. A general election is carried out after every 5 years. A by-election is carried out after either a death of a member of parliament or any other. Your election has been nullified by a court of law, then we go for a by-election. Now, the national government. In Kenya, we have what we call political parties. Political parties, we are under the national government, that registered political parties nominate their candidates to take part in elections. Registered political parties. Who registers political parties? Political parties are registered by what we call a person by the name registrar of societies. Registrar of societies. This person is the one who registers political parties. Political parties are registered by the registrar of societies. Now, after this political party or political parties have been registered, they nominate. They do what we call nomination. They nominate their people who will be taking part in an election. We say those who who want to be president are among the candidates. Now, political parties, we were talking about political parties sometimes back, and we said that we have functions of the political parties. One of them being giving the citizens freedom of association, that you can join a political party of your choice. Hence, you can elect a member of your own choice. Now, in these nominations, presidential candidates are also nominated by a political party, even though we have what we call independent candidates. An independent candidate is that candidate who does not belong to a political party. Number two, this means that the person does not belong to a party. Each presidential candidate also nominates a running mate. Who is a running mate? A presidential candidate has to nominate, has to choose a running mate. Who is a running mate? A running mate is the one who will deputize if that person wins an election. A running mate. Then we say that a presidential candidate who gets more than half of the total votes, this is where the main point is. In order for you to be declared a president of a country, you must at least 25% of total votes from at least 25 counties. At 25% of the total votes from at least 25 counties. What does that mean? We have 47 counties in our country. For you to be declared a president, you must win. You must get 25% of the votes from at least 25 counties in Kenya out of the 47. Then we say you have been declared a winner. Well, then we call you a presidential elect. The running mate to the winning presidential candidate becomes the deputy president elect automatically, because you were chosen or you were nominated by that presidential nominee. We call the president elect and the deputy president are both sworn in. So swearing in, there is an act of swearing in. You have been declared a president. There is what we call a swearing ceremony. The swearing in. What is this? After you have been elected a president, you have to be sworn in. Who swears in? A presidential elect is sworn in by the registrar of the judiciary. I know your preparation, your studies talks about that the presidential elect is sworn in by the Chief Justice. No. The registrar of the judiciary swears in the president and the deputy president elect under the watch of the either the Chief Justice or the deputy Chief Justice. So who swears in? The president and the deputy president. The deputy president and the president are sworn in by the registrar of the judiciary. Under the watch of what? Under the watch of the Chief Justice and the deputy Chief Justice. And when is this done? This happens on the first day. So swearing in of presidential and deputy presidential elects is done on a Tuesday. The day is very, very essential. This work is done on a Tuesday. Tuesday after 14 days. After 14 days since they were declared winners. After 14 days since election, so those are 2 weeks. The day must be on a Tuesday after 14 days since election was carried out. That is when that one is carried out. After the swearing in, now the president nominates what we call the cabinet. What is a cabinet? These are the people who will be assisting the president in carrying out duties. The president and the deputy president cannot manage to work or do all the duties that are bestowed upon them. So they have to choose what we call a cabinet. These are the men and the women who will be carrying out ministries and assist the president in service delivery. We call them the cabinet. So we have what we call cabinet secretaries. The cabinet comprises of the cabinet secretaries. Cabinet secretaries. These in our old constitution, they were known as ministers. Now, we don't call them ministers, we call them cabinet secretaries. These are the people in charge of ministries. They are appointed by the president, but before they assume office, they must be vetted by the legislature. That is parliament. We continue by saying, he also nominates principal secretaries, principal secretaries. He nominates these principal secretaries. He nominates what we call secretary to the cabinet secretary. There's a difference between cabinet secretary and secretary to the cabinet. Secretary to the work of the secretary is to write or take down notes during a cabinet meeting. So, secretary to the cabinet is under the cabinet secretary. Then, after that, we have what we call ambassadors. Ambassadors. These are people appointed by the president to go to other countries and represent our country outside there. And we have others, what we call representative to foreign ministers. These names have to be forwarded to the parliament for approval. Once the officers have been approved by parliament, the president officially appoints them to serve in their respective positions. All these people who have been appointed by the president or nominated, they do not resume office or they do not start working unless they have been approved by parliament, and they must be approved worthy that they can take these duties. Other government officers are nominated or appointed by the independent bodies and appointed by the president. These officials include the Attorney General, the Chief Justice, and the Director of Public Prosecution. Director of Public Prosecution, DPP. What is the work of this man? Recently, this man has been of great importance to the country as corruption cases are concerned. How? He has been arresting these people who are involved, more specifically, the big fish. We call them these men who take higher positions in the country. He has been arresting them, and the arrests were being taken on a Friday. So you must stay in custody for more than 24. In Kenya, when you have been arrested, you are supposed to be taken to court after 24 hours. Now you have been arrested on a Friday. So you must be staying in custody for more than 24 hours, and you have nothing to do because these men, all the judges, don't work on a weekend. Yes, we say that independent bodies include the following: the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission, these are what we call independent bodies. We have the Judicial Service Commission. Judicial Service Commission. The Judicial Service Commission is under the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is the President's appointee. Chief Justice, President's appointee. Next is the National Police Commission. National Police Commission, NPS. Commission NPS. We call them. Some of the officials needed to be approved by Parliament. Some of them need to be approved. Actually, let me say, almost all of them have to be approved by Parliament to be proven worthy. The president appoints the chief of the Kenya Defense Chief. The president is the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. But now, he cannot go there to check out how these people are working. He has to appoint someone to be in charge of that area who reports to the president directly. And this man is known as, this woman is known as the chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, according to the qualities and the rank in the military. So the president, deputy president, and the appointed officials form the national government. And that is how the government of Kenya is formed. That is how the government of Kenya. Let me review what I've said. Maybe there's something you do not understand well. Let me review it. I said that in Kenya, a national government is formed after a general election. I said that in Kenya, we have two types of elections. Number one, we have what we call a general election. And number two, we have what we call a by-election. A general election, general election. Number two, we have what we call a by-election. That a general election is carried out after every 5 years. But a by-election is carried out upon need. It is carried out upon need. I don't need to dwell more on a general election because you know that. A by-election, we have circumstances that can lead to a by-election. Number one, if an elected member dies in office, becomes insane, you are elected fraudulently, or you are not duly elected, you are not duly elected. For example, you committed an election offense, so your election is nullified and we are forced to go for a by-election. A by-election has no time. It can be carried any time. We say that political parties in Kenya have their functions. One of them being to critique, for example, the opposition party. That is a party that takes position 2 after an election. After taking that one, an opposition party, the main work of the opposition party is to ensure that the government, the one that won the elections, are working according to the manifesto. What is a manifesto? These are promises that are given to the citizens during campaigns. So, if they are not working according to the manifesto, that's where the opposition party comes in. In collaboration with other political parties, they make sure that the government delivers according to the manifesto. Hence, they critique. The term is what? Critique. They critique the government. They critique the government. After critiquing the government, they ensure that the government is delivering. Now, registered political parties. Who registers political parties? Political parties are registered by the Registrar of Societies. Registrar of political parties. Registrar of political parties. They are registered by the Registrar of Political Parties. After a political party has been registered, now the political party can nominate its candidates in different ranks. It can be from the county level to all through to the national, that is a presidential elect. A presidential elect or a presidential nominee, after being declared that we are going to vie for president, that the presidential nominee has to nominate a deputy. We call it the deputy. We call it the deputy nominee. Deputy presidential nominee, the deputy. In that, after the president has won, the number 2 now, the deputy resumes as the deputy president in that area. Now, for you to be declared in Kenya that you have been elected for a presidency, one, you must win. You must get at least 25% of all votes. 25% of all votes voted in at least 25 counties. 25 counties. You must win. 25% of all votes voted in a county and at least 25 counties. We have 47 counties. So, if you win 25 of the counties, then you become a winner. And after you have been declared a winner, hence, the president and the deputy president elect, are sworn in on a Tuesday. The day must be a Tuesday after 14 days since election was carried out. 14 days since election was carried out. On a Tuesday, the day must be on a Tuesday. 14 days after elections have been carried out, and the president-elect is sworn in by this person known as the registrar of the judiciary, under the watch of the chief justice. Chief justice must be there. Chief justice and the deputy chief justice and the deputy chief justice. They must be there when you are being sworn in. After the swearing in, now the president and the deputy president have the mandate to form now the government. How do they form the government? They have to choose some able men and women to act under different capacities to ensure that they are delivering services to the citizens. They nominate cabinet secretaries who will be in charge of different ministries. They nominate cabinet secretaries to the cabinet, the principal secretaries, ambassadors, those people who will be representing our country in another country. They elect other people of, for example, They also nominate what we call representatives to foreign what? To foreign missions. The names have to be forwarded to Parliament. These people who have been nominated by the president and the deputy president, their name, before they resume office, they have to be vetted. Who vets them? They are vetted by the legislature. So, their names have to be presented to Parliament to be approved. Approved by Parliament and to be approved to be worthy taking the task. We have what we call independent bodies. Independent bodies, and we have elders or leaders of the independent bodies. We have these independent bodies like we have the Public Service Commission, Public Service Commission, the civil servants. These are the people who are employed by the government. They are employed by the government to assist the government to deliver services. We have the Judicial Service Commission, the JSC. The Judicial Service Commission is headed by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is the President's appointee. The Judicial Service Commission comprises of the Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, judges, and those people who are working for the judiciary. We have the National Police Service Commission. National Police Service Commission. National Police Service Commission. This one. The National Police Service Commission is headed by IG, Inspector General. IG, Inspector General. Inspector General is appointed by the President. This is another person who is appointed by the President, but vetted by the Parliament. They do different works or different functions in order to ensure the government is delivering its services. Now, we want to move to what we call the arms of the government. Arms of the government are also known as the branches of the government. Branches of the government. Arms of the government. Arms. Arms of the government. The arms of the government. Arms of the government. The arms, we can call them, this one, we can call them branches. There are only 3 branches of the government. And these arms of the government are well highlighted with their functions in the Constitution. The Constitution of Kenya that was promulgated, the term is promulgation. Promulgated, it was promulgated on 27th of August 2010. To promulgate, it means it came to effect. We started using this new constitution, that's promulgation on 27th of August 2010. Now, the arms of the government, there are 3 in number. Number 1, we have the legislature. The legislature is also known as Parliament. Let me use the term Parliament because I know the reason. The legislature. Number 2, we have the executive, and number 3, we have the judiciary. These are the 3 arms of the government. There are only 3 in that manner. These bodies or branches or arms are independent. None of them can interfere with the activities done by another arm. So, this, the acronym for this one is LEG, written in that manner. LEG. So, LEG in this manner, legislature is found in chapter 8 of the Kenyan Constitution, chapter 9 and chapter 10. They follow each other in that category. Chapter 8 of the Kenyan Constitution, chapter 9 of the Kenyan Constitution, chapter 10 of the Kenyan Constitution. These arms of the government do different activities, or they perform different functions. Number 1, the government of Kenya has 3 main branches, that is the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. Composition and functions of the legislature. Now let's talk about the legislature as an arm of the government. The first one, the legislature. Chapter 8 of the Kenyan Constitution. The legislature. Legislature. This is the first arm of the government. Legislature. The legislature is also known as Parliament. We can call it Parliament. The legislature is also known as Parliament. The legislature comprises of 2 houses. Number 1, National Assembly, the National Assembly, and number 2, the Senate. The government of Kenya, the legislature of Kenya, comprises of 2 houses, the National Assembly and the Senate. Now, the National Assembly. Let's talk about the National Assembly. This one you were taught in class 5, National Assembly. The National Assembly. The National Assembly comprises of men and women who have been elected to represent constituencies. National Assembly. Men and women representing constituencies. Now, in Kenya, we have how many constituencies? We have 290 constituencies. So, we have 290 elected members from constituencies. From constituencies. 290. These are elected. Elected in a general election that is carried out after every 5 years. 290 elected. We have also, this one must be taken into account, 47 women representatives. Who are these? They represent counties. Now, in exams, they usually ask this one. Which one of the following members represents counties in the National Assembly? Represent counties, but in the National Assembly. It is the 47 women. They are only women because women representatives. 47 women representatives. Here we have people who are nominated by political parties. 12 of them. 12 nominated. Take into account different gender. They are different gender. They can be men and women. They are men and women. 12 nominated members from different gender, can be men and women. Then we have one ex officio, one ex officio member, and that is the speaker. How do we get a speaker in parliament? Now, this is how we arrive at the speaker, being an ex officio member. After a general election, when parliament resumes, the first activity of these elected members of parliament is to elect a speaker. After the speaker has been elected, the speaker is one of the 290 elected representing a constituency. When you are elected as speaker, then you leave to be a member of parliament and you become an ex officio. Now, the 290 elected members elect the speaker. After the speaker has been elected, he swears in the 290 members of parliament now. The first activity of members of parliament after resuming office, that is to elect the speaker, and the first activity of the speaker is to swear in the elected members of parliament. When the speaker is being elected, we have another person who is the senior most government administrator, government employee of parliament, known as the clerk. The clerk is the senior most government employee in parliament. The clerk acts as a returning officer during an election of the speaker. If you add this and that, you get to 350. So, the National Assembly has 350 members. But out of the 350 members, it's only 337 are elected. 337 are elected. 12 are nominated. The ex-official member is not a member of the National Assembly. Is then official. That is the National Assembly. Let's move to the second house, known as the Senate. As I told you, the legislature, also known as Parliament, comprises of two houses. The National Assembly, the upper house, and the Senate, which is the lower house. Let's now talk about the Senate. The Senate of Kenya comprises of 68 members. We call them senators. The Senate comprises of 68 members. The total number of people here, 68. We call them senators. These are people who represent the interests of counties in the legislature. The composition are 47 elected senators representing counties in the legislature. We have 16, take into account, 16 nominated women. There are only women here. 16 nominated women. 16 nominated women. Here, there are only women. No man here. 16 nominated women. We have 2 people with special needs. They are taken care of. We have 2 youth. And we have 1 ex officio. The one ex officio is the speaker, and I've elaborated well how we arrive at the speaker. That the speaker is elected by members of those houses. The Senate elects its own speaker. The National Assembly elects its own speaker. If you add this, you arrive at this total, the 68 members. Now, we want to move to the functions of Parliament. What is the work of the legislature? The work of the legislature, the first arm of the government, Chapter 8 of the Kenyan Constitution, that is the legislature, also known as Parliament. They have diverse functions of the legislature. Functions of the legislature. Let's start with the main function of the legislature. Number one is to make and to amend laws. Kenya is a law-abiding country. The laws that are governing the country are made in Parliament, and they are made by the members of Parliament. So this is the main function of Parliament. The main function of Parliament is to make and amend laws. Another one is to discuss issues affecting the country. Discuss issues affecting the country. How do they do that? For example, recently, Kenya has been faced with a problem of locusts. For example, there is another one that has come, known as the coronavirus. For it to be declared a national disaster, the members of Parliament have to agree. So they have to discuss and come up with ways of capping this issue that is affecting the country. Another one is that they debate government policies with the aim of improving them. Parliament, it approves the budget. That one is very, very important. Approves the budget. Who makes the budget? The budget is made at the executive level. Chapter 9 of the Kenyan Constitution. Executive. The executive, we have the cabinet secretary for the treasury. The treasury comes up with the budget. These are estimates on how the government is going to get money and how it's going to use the money. Now, it is made by the executive. Before the budget is read for us citizens to know it, must go through the legislature to be approved. So, another work of the legislature is to approve the budget. After doing that, it also makes important legislative amendments which are of national amendment, to amend here, to make them better. To amend is to make something better. For example, we have what we call bills. Who drafts bills? Bills are drafted by the Attorney General. After the Attorney General has drafted bills, these bills are taken to Parliament for discussion. Before a bill is a proposed law. Before a bill becomes a law, it has to be taken to Parliament to be discussed. An amendment to be taken or to be done to be a better law. So that's another work of this one. That's the legislature. To pass a vote of no confidence. What does that mean? For example, if you are not doing something well, even in school, we have the school cabinet, the president, the deputy president, we have the governors and etc. If you are not doing something well, we have other people who can say we don't need so and so because he or she is not doing his or her work properly. That is a vote of no confidence. So the legislature can pass a vote of no confidence against any senior government officer. Can it be the president, the deputy president, or the cabinet secretary? So that's one of the functions of the legislature, to pass a vote of no confidence against senior government officers. We have also, it approves certain senior government officers. I told you that after the president has appointed senior government officers, starting from the cabinet secretaries, ambassadors, etc., they must be taken to Parliament for approval to be proven worthy to take the task. It approves the declaration of war, and the president of Kenya can declare war or peace. But before the president does that, he or she must involve Parliament. How? Take the matter to Parliament to discuss whether to start a war or to end a war. Those are some of the functions of the legislature. Any question concerning today's discussion should be presented at my account so that I can read and respond it promptly. Next time, when we meet, we shall be talking about the Senate and its functions. I wish you all the best. Good luck and keep safe.